What a difference a year makes. We've all heard this before. It's one of those phrases that's almost cliche in our society. And in the case of Atlanta Falcons quarterback Michael Vick, it's definitely true. A year ago, Vick and his fellow Falcons were 2-0 and poised to have a good season, and now everything has changed for Vick. In case you've been living under a rock for the last year, you know what I'm talking about. Just in case you were living under a rock, Michael Vick has been convicted of charges related to dogfighting and has been all over the news because of the case, and the daily developments that have come from this case are on every channel from ESPN to CNN to your local news. There's been a two different kinds of reaction from the general population. One is that most people are, myself included, are outraged by his actions and see what he's doing is wrong. But there are some who stand by them, and some who say what he's done is maybe not that big of a deal. Well, I feel that he should do serious time in prison, at least a couple of years, and that he should not be allowed to play football again. The side that feels against this likes to bring up the point of the subculture that dogfighting is a part of, and bring up the fact that most of us don't understand this, and because we're not a part of it and wouldn't understand that it's just a game, and it's just for sport, and it's just a gambling, but maybe not necessarily that big of a deal. I feel that it is cruel to animals and should not be condoned by anyone, even if it is a professional football player. Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, suspended Vick before the conviction indefinitely, and now, of course, for the season because of the conviction, but has implied that after he serves his jail time, he may be permitted to once again play in NFL, depending on how long the jail time is and how he serves his time and how he learns or seems to have learned from his mistakes in his time in prison. I feel that this is wrong. If Pete Rose can't take part in baseball in any way for gambling, then why should Vick be allowed to play football again? I feel that what Vick did or was a part of is a lot more harmful than gambling. I'm not asking you to boycott the Falcons or the NFL, but I want you to be aware of the seriousness of his crimes and to not be fooled by those who say that this is a legitimate part of a subculture, and that because we weren't raised around such activities that we do not understand that it was just a sporting and gambling event. It is wrong and cruel and should not be allowed. Hopefully, Michael Vick will be made an example of, and future actions like these will be prevented because children who look up to him should see that this is wrong and not follow in his footsteps and not take part in such activities. Hopefully, they will eventually stop. Several themes or theories that we have studied that we should look at here. One being the mob at the gates theory. There are two sides to this issue, those who support Michael Vick and those who are against him. The us versus them feeling that derives from this is very evident here. Obviously, there's two sides of the story. Those who support him and hopefully are hopeful that he returns to NFL, and those who feel like I do that he should not be allowed to play football anymore and should do time. There's the presence of a conspiracy. There are many who think that the only reason Vick is being targeted is because of his fame or because he is black, and that is conspiracy to take away his fame and his fortune. Now, I will admit that a lot of people probably are looking at this as a way to, take shots at him because a lot of people don't like African Americans being quarterbacks in the NFL. But I don't think that has anything to do with it. It definitely doesn't, in my opinion, because I don't care if he's white, black, but what he's done is wrong, I feel. Another thing to look at is the triumph of individual. This is an idea that should be the focus of Michael Vick. Michael Vick, before he was an NFL player, came from modest and humble beginnings and kind of rose his way to the top because of his athletic ability and because also to a certain extent because of his hard work. He had to overcome a lot. And this is what we should be focusing on. But because of the latest developments, we learned that of these activities he's been a part of that overshadows it. And it kind of ruins any progress he'd made as a triumphant individual. Conclusion: people will persuade you that either what he did was not that big of a deal and that it should be overlooked and that it wasn't that serious. And then there will be a side that will try to persuade you that what he did was wrong. Use your own judgment and don't be fooled by the various persuasion tactics that we have learned about in this case.